Hello, my name's Colonel Failure, and this is Factorio. Joining me in the command bunker today is, well, nobody. Unfortunately, during our multiplayer playthrough, we ended up getting desynchronized so often that we ended up deciding that we'd go our own way. Kind of makes a mockery of the idea of it being multiplayer, but we're going to continue and see how we get on. So, when you last tuned in, we had a fairly lengthy debate with regards to whether we were producing enough iron ore or not. Orbital's take on things was that we're not stuffing this belt here full of iron ore, and therefore we should be producing more. He is, of course, quite correct. So I think what I'll do to start with, and I might have made a start on this last time, is I'm going to dig up all of these miners that have finished. Or let's do all the miners that are empty, and then after that we'll lay them out in such a way that we can get a little bit further and faster. The reason for this being a thing, why is it a problem in the first place? Well, quite simply because, as expected, as predicted very early on, once we go full force with our 50 research labs, we found very quickly that we couldn't keep up with demand. Right, what am I missing here? I need to do with some iron, I suppose. Could do with some iron. That's kind of that's the story of the game, I think. So yeah, so what am I aiming to do? So I'm going to try and get our iron output up, simply to the point that so that we can actually keep up with the amount of demand going on. Okay, where are we being attacked? Is it business as usual here, or are we a little? Oh, hello. You're not well, are you? Right. Well, let's patch you up while I'm in the area. Okay. I'm so used to the old repair pack design. Ah, look, here's Quentin. Or one of the Quentins, anyway. Good old Quentin, getting the job done. Right, let's bash you up there. Right, hopefully that will be sufficient to keep them at bay. In fact, if I can build another... Yeah, let's just quickly bang out another couple of sentries. Probably wise. So yeah, so I mean we've got continual problems with regards to actually being able to defend ourselves. Look, these are out as well, and only on one side of the belt. But we've got load balancing there, so that's all fine. I shall take these three with me and do exciting things with them. Right, hopefully that should be enough to keep the aliens away. I'd like to get to the point where I've actually got enough firepower to go take the fight to them. That would be beneficial. Right, let's get rid of all of this. I know, madness. Right, so we are still sticking to the plan, and the plan, as I'm sure you recall, is we're not going to keep any resources just hanging around willy-nilly. And we're going to try and make sure that we can service all 50 labs at the same time. Right, let's get a shot of all this belt. I seem to recall. I mean, it's been a little while since I last got stuck into this save. So forgive me if I'm immediately taking apart something that I've got a very distinct impression that I actually worked on this last time I was here. Still, never mind. You know, build, rebuild. That is the nature of the game. Right, let's turn you boys off as well. And then we'll start again. And what we want is we want to be able to fill the double belt that's heading towards the furnace area. And it might be beneficial to actually build super turbo mega belt, whatever the hell they're supposedly called, in order to properly stuff this thing. So we'll start off by just running the obvious. Right, that's the most obvious. You don't get much more obvious than that. Right, he can handle 500. Hold on. I do still want to use my... We can get rid of this as well. It's okay. There is madness to my method. Okay, so yes, having iron ore storing itself up sort of ad infinitum, or at least until the box is full, is a bit of a cheat on the not leaving stuff hanging around. But I'll change that. I'll change that at some point in the future. Right. So then we want smart inserters coming off here, just like that. And then we want to rinse and repeat that below. Now, do we go standard speed belt? Yes, I think we do. Because, I mean, obviously, if I go standard speed belt and then go to the fast belt, that's not going to work in terms of keeping that belt fully occupied. However, my plan is not just to do this one area that I'm looking at right now. I'm going to loop one round from the top and one round from the bottom as well. And that should, all told, make for more than fast enough, or more than enough resources coming in to stuff that belt well and proper. And of course, we're going to see the benefit of having a slight backlog to start with. There we go. Right. Okay. Good. And then we'll do the same up here. So the smart inserters that come off here are only going to fire, well, they're only going to be triggered when we've got less than... Have I got any wood on me? Yes, I have. Good. I know, you would have thought the wooden chests would be obsolete by this point, but frankly... you know, sometimes you just need to be able to do small amounts at once. Right, nice. Get rid of that. Yes, so the smart inserters will kick off. Will kick into gear, or well, when I set them up, they will anyway. Once we have 100 or less. 100 or less what? 100 or less iron plate in stock. Sorry, I lose track of my own thinking sometimes. You've watched me do this often enough, you know that already. Okay, we're not going to be perfectly balanced because obviously this this iron field tapers off, and I think that once I've managed to get plenty of resources flowing through here, I haven't even got any miners left. What do I want? I want 5, 6, 7. I want 7, please. How many can I make? 3. Well, 3's a start. What am I short on? Iron plate. Have I got circuits on me? Yes. Not as many as I need. Iron plate. No, not so much. Wow, in fact, not at all. Barely any iron plate left in the system in the slightest. There we go. Right, that should... hopefully. What did I say I needed? 7? Let's get up to 5 and then we'll see how many more we need. Right, so I'm going to drain this this iron field in no time at all. And that could make for some problems. Actually, that's where the fun starts, because then I've got to figure out how to bring in iron from elsewhere in a glorious fashion, and I think with my current trains fixation being what it is, that trains is the way we're going to go. Right, so we'll route this. Where's a kind of good end? Here we go. Route that around there. And I'm out of belt. Let's get some more of those being built. There we go. Right, so if I make that bit fast, just like that, from the top and the bottom, or from the bottom and the top as I ended up laying it out. More belt, more belt, more belt. I could probably take some belt off the belt. Actually, that would be the sensible thing to do. Save me burning through raw resources any more than I need to. There we go, I'll have that. Thank you. Yeah, now you're talking. Okay, smashing. So we fed everything onto this red belt here. I want another 2 to make sure that this stays equal. That's probably overkill, but you know, hey, what? Phew, overkill, me, no problems. And we'll actually, there's nothing for them to mine, so so that was a complete waste of your resources, effort, time, money. Let's get some power. Just like that. Right, okay, now, I imagine that's hitting my power reserve. Oh, no, production has got so much redundancy in it. But then we're not using the furnaces at the moment, and they always eat it like it's going out of fashion. Right, so next we want to feed this to this splitter, which the splitter won't need to be sped up because it's taking, well, let's do it and see what happens. Do I want to move the splitter down? I might as well move the splitter down. There we go. And then I've got a fast splitter anyway. I might as well use it. Excellent. Right. That's ready to go. Okay, now I have got a backlog here, so this isn't going to be completely representative of how the system will actually work in reality. Right, so if this has got less than 100. Okay. Right, and then it's shift and what's it? No. No, that's just picked it up. Okay, hold on. I'll figure it out. I'll remember what the button is. There we go. And shift, left click, shift, left click. Right, yes, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Alright, let's get everything on. And again, we won't see whether this is actually effective or not until these guys are all out of materials in their kind of their chest. There we go. All right. So that's a tremendous amount of iron coming into the belt system, and we're just about being able to massive that up. So when it comes down to it, we're then trying to feed this onto a single side of each one of these belts, and it is, yeah, there are no gaps happening there. At which point we're hitting up the furnaces. These inserters don't look like they're going at massive. Yeah, they're not. So so with everything switched on at this rate, we're kicking the power quite handsomely. And we're building a backlog up here. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 pickers, effectively, grabbing iron out of the system. But, as I did mention last time around, I can actually go more than that, and I think I'm going to. Right. Get to work. And then we want 2 more passive providers. And some big blues. 1, 2. Big blues. Fast blues. Okay. Actually, I need more blues than that. Never mind. It's all good. Oh, there's a power thing. Alright, I'm going to have to figure out another place to put a power thing there. I think I can make transformers. Where are we? Not transformers, whatever they're called. Substations. Right, let's have a couple of those. Because that's going to... it's going to put a spanner in the works there for a moment. Right, one there and one there. Right, now, how much space does a substation need? It's more than that, obviously. But good news is it can feed a hell of an area. Put one there. Oh, we're just missing the bottom one. Okay. Well, that's fun. Okay, right, cool. And then we'll stick one in here as well. Excellent. Right. So now we can take stuff off just about as fast as it can possibly go. Okay, all right. Well, that's promising, and we are stuffing this belt pretty effectively. So what are we building up now? And this is, this is where the problem happens. Is so, we don't get a massive amount of throughput. I mean, we get some, so it's not the end of the world. Massive amount of throughput to go for steel. But the other one that was a problem was getting enough to go for circuits, and actually that's working as well. Ah, look at this! It's always nice when some. One of the beautiful things about working at this kind of smart factory system is everything turns off at the same time, and then everything turns back on again at the same time. So when these chaps finish their run on, or will they? Nope, they're not going to. So actually, the iron should have kicked off. Clicked off. Kicked off means start. Clicked off means stopped. Let's go have a look. We're not brilliantly balanced on this line, and that's because that's not hooked onto anything. Let's do that and see if it makes things happier. I want to be able to feed both sides of the belt. There we go. That's better. So these will now empty out until there is less than, if you can see over there, there are 150 iron plates currently in the system. And when that drops to below 100, we'll start making more iron. But here's the thing, or the iron will refill the belts. But we've already got iron queued up to be done. And actually this feels like they're not going at full speed. Yeah, there we go. We are not providing anywhere near enough energy. Okay, that's a problem. So we're going to go over to our coal mine and sort that out. What's going on here? What are you out of? You're all out of fuel. Okay, well I've got some wood on me that you can amuse yourselves with. Oh, I've got some coal on me, even better. There we go. Have some of that. Obviously, the facility to actually have some walls being made is terribly useful, given that we're regularly under assault at the moment. Have I got any kind of defence down here at all? Yeah, okay, that's something. Possibly, well, since that's been damaged, I probably ought to put a turret in there. Oh, well, this isn't going to help, when you haven't even got all of your steam engines hooked up. Go, let's get some more of those. Okay, right, so that's 3 runs of steam engines, and yeah, okay, I remember seeing this in a video when occasionally you watch your own stuff back again, and it occurred to me then that actually what I hadn't done was finish setting these up. So we can't hit max capacity anyway, which is odd and madness. We do have enough water coming in? Yes, we've got enough water coming in. Theoretically. I ought to check the kind of readout on some of these. We also don't really have enough coal coming. But that could purely be down to the fact that we're depowered at the moment. I mean, what should happen is that obviously, boilers take a bit of coal to get started, but after that point they tend to run okay. Let's have a look. So these should fill up. Let's see if this 4th one gets a grab at any point. There you go. Fourth one gets a grab. Yes, what are we running here? We're running 4, but look how slowly they're moving. Alright, what we can also do is we can help the system out a bit. That'll do. Let's feed some of these bottom ones. The system would catch up eventually, I'm sure of it, but I don't have that kind of time. So if we manually feed some of these, then it will allow more power into the system, which means those coal mines will go faster, which should get us back in business. I mean, equally, the only downside to this is I'm not going to see whether what I'm doing here is making it entirely artificial, that we generate anything like enough power. We're still not. My goodness. Okay, right, well, grab some more. Actually, let's see if I turn all of these boilers on, is that going to be enough? This is what I should have done to start with. I wonder if there's a faster way of doing this. Okay, so that is everything we've got powered up and firing. Right, now we're going to build up a backlog of coal because none of the boilers currently need any coal. There we go, give me this. So, 15 megawatts is our capacity, and we are not hitting it. Okay, right, well, I think that'll wrap it up for this time. Obviously, I need more power. We haven't got we haven't got the research labs on at the moment, so that's not truly representative of everything we're going to be trying to produce. So I'm going to create another row, maybe another 2 rows of these fine engines here, which really are rather spectacular. That is also quite a lot of pollution, and we haven't got any actual defences here. We're just trying to dissuade the alien horde using walls. So I'll get to that next time. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Colonel Failure. Now, if you want to see someone going from the same start point as I did today, why not tune in on Orbital Potato's channel, where he picked up from the same point. That is the point at which we're going to divest ourselves of the shared experience, and then once in a while we'll have a catch-up episode. But as mentioned at the opening of this one, we simply found that our net connections between the pair of us were so unstable that we were disconnected more than we were connected, and given that it took the best part of half an hour to actually send the save file over to each other, we felt this was the best way to go. If you'd like us to persist in driving ourselves up the wall, in trying to do things properly, or the way that we said we'd do it, please leave a comment. Thank you very much. I've been Colonel Failure. Catch you next time. Cheerio.